Hello lovely butterflies, it's France. Welcome to this Journaler Monday, week 147. I'm working in my beloved Journaler Monday art journal and I'm starting with some Derwent Inktense pencils which are water soluble. I'm combining 4 colors of them and I'm just tracing them using my circle stencil in the small version. Now I will link all my products in the description of this video, so that's where you'll be able to find them. And for now, let's just trace the circles. Now that I'm done tracing them, I can start blending them just using plain water. I have my piece of kitchen roll ready in case I have too much water. And now I can just go over that trace that I made and blend all these colors together. Once I'm done with this, I'll make it more interesting, but first I just want to go around the circles. Now I can start making my circles a bit more interesting. So I'm using those same pencils and I'm adding some shading to my circles. Just combining those same colors but then in a different way. Keeping it very, very light because once I go in with the water, the color will come more to the front because of the blending of it. So I'm just keeping it very, very light so that it's just some shading on my circle. Once I'm done with the base of the circles, I'm going back over them using my Unipin pen. And what I love about these pens is that they can really take a lot, so they're ideal for mixed media. I'm not only tracing the circle using my stencil. Once I'm done, I'm also doodling a bit to make the circle less regular. So usually what I've done now would actually be more in the front, but this time I'm using it as a background. So I need to push it back a bit more. So first layer that I'm adding with mediums is a layer of crackle paint. Well, a layer is a big word. I'm just adding touches here and there. Once it's done, I'm walking away and I'm leaving it to dry by itself to have the best cracks that I can have. For my next layer, I'm going in with color this time, and to do so I'm using premium acrylic because I want to apply them with my palette knife, and the turquoise is a bit too intense to my liking, so I'm mixing it with some white to tone it down a little bit. And to soften it down and make it work with the rest of the page, I'm going in with Inktense pencils in the same colors as I did for the paint, just so that I can add a watercolor effect to it and blend it into the background a bit more. So first I'm using the pencils very, very lightly, adding some touches here and there, and then when that's done, I'm going back in with water to blend it all in. I'm really using that watercolor effect from the pencils to go closer to the circles and make everything work together. So the paint that I've added, the circles that I already have, and then making it softer. I want it to be even softer, so I'm mixing up some gesso with some water, and I'm taking it back in using my palette knife on top of the color that I already have, just to push it back a little bit more into the background. Next up, I want to add some stamping. So I'm using my Rock and Rust stamp set from Illusionary Artist. And I'm combining several colors of archival ink. I'm going in with the coffee, I'm going in with the black, depending on the stamp that I'm holding and the intensity that I want to give it. This must be one of my favorite stamps that I ever designed. It's just a line of numbers, teeny tiny numbers, but I really like adding this here and there. It just gives that extra oomph to what I already have on the page. My spread needs some more framing, and to do so I'm using black fluid acrylic. Again, using my palette knife, keeping it very, very light and adding touches here and there, especially around the spread. You might recognize this little piece of orange paper from a previous spread. So this is a leftover from a leftover from a leftover. And I'm starting by applying some water on the spread because next up I want to go in with Colorex, which is a watercolor, but as you can see it's very intense, especially when you leave a drop on your spread that you didn't mean to leave, but that's okay, I'll just incorporate it in the rest of the spread. So I'm using the orange, which is a very, very vibrant color. But I do want to keep it soft. I don't want it to eat away all the rest of the spread. And I want to make it look as if it's coming from underneath that little piece of paper that I'm going to add. I picked a couple of words from the Chit Chat stickers, which I'm just applying on top of that scrap piece of paper, and now I can start assembling my focal point. Part of my focal point is some journaling around a circle, and it will all work together with that scrap piece of paper and just attract the eye to that side of the spread. As I do have some texture from the paint underneath, this needs a little help to stick in place, and that's where my jar of tools is coming in handy. I want to add some more of that orange from Colorex. So again, very lightly, lots of water, just here and there to finish off the spread. And while I'm at it, I might as well add some splatters to it as well. That's the final layer for today's spread. I hope you liked it. If so, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click on that little bell to receive notifications of new videos. And if you would like more extended videos, if you would like to join me for live hangouts and live journal with me sessions, I can only invite you to join me on my Patreon page. The link is below in the description of this video. See you next time. Ta-da!